welcome to the second class for over 1400. I mean, Archer's over 1400 after his last tournament. Okay, so many years ago, my good friend and student Jeff Ashton, also known as Ashton, he teaches chess now in Houston. He has his own chess academy, just for kids, called the Panda Chess Academy. And he was like 1400, and he was getting lessons from another senior master in Ann Arbor, Michigan, then lessons with me. And now he's 2250 and doesn't play chess anymore. That's basically what happens when you get lessons from me, you quit chess. Okay, but anyway, one day he said he wanted a lesson on this position. And I said, all right. So I looked at all of my games in this position, and I noticed I had like 30 wins and 1 loss. And I was like, oh, well then. And since then, I've lost almost every game. So now I have 10 losses.
It's a Sicilian?
Yeah. In fact, we'll flip the board to avoid confusion. Okay. So before the class started, I typed in the position, this is very funny, and I said, show me the money, okay? And it showed me 1 game. And I was like, well, I've played this 100 billion times. How did it show me 1 game? User error. If you remember the last lecture, we looked at games from what year?
1992.
Right, and so it only looked at this position in 92. I had to uncheck that. Then it showed all those games. Right, that makes more sense, right? So the games that I have on my computer that I played, those are the games from this position.
Yeah, move order is d6 on move 2.
Well, now you're going to lecture. Now you're stealing my thunder.
Like,
now, 90% of grandmasters, that would be correct. I play knight c6 on move 2. And the reason is, the way I deal with bishop b5 is I know what to do after knight c6, after d6. I don't have a way to deal with it. And also, yeah, this is too complicated for this class. This is the over 1400 class. If white decides to play the delayed c3 Sicilian, which I do, then I would play d5, because that's what I do anyway against the regular c3 Sicilian. So if I play d6 on move 2 and you play c3, I just resign. Okay, and also when they play bishop b5, I know that pretty well. d6, bishop b5 check. I mean, as Raj would say, I know Vishwa nothing. Yeah, exactly. He says it a lot. Okay, so I get it from the knight c6 move order, but you can do it from either way. Okay, now, here white has 2 main moves I'm sure you're familiar with.
no, actually.
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah. Can you guess what white usually does?
Develop the bishop, the dark square bishop somewhere. Or
Something dark side. Okay, bishop g5, which is called the rouser. Some say Richter rouser. And bishop c4, the Sozin. Some say Fischer Sozin. Okay, and there's other moves. Those are the 2 main moves. Now, there was a game played by Stuart Rachels, and what's funny is Stuart Rachels was here last week. We were playing bridge with the Wes, and he came to the chess center. He'd never been here before. He thought it would be a hole in the wall. I thought it'd be like 1 room. And I'm like, what? I've never been so mad. Former U.S. champion Stuart Rachels. He played a game with black in the Sicilian that was really nice. And I said, well, I like that. So I started playing the Sicilian. And I learned 1 variation at a time. Now, in the game I'm talking about, that was with bishop g5. And then eventually I learned bishop c4. Anyway, let's look at a sampling of some of my favorite games. Okay. Now, this game's famous for me, not for anybody else, because I made an accidental sacrifice. Okay, so we'll get to the key position. I don't really want to talk about the game, just the accidental sacrifice. Okay, so we got this position. I sacrificed a pawn, but I have the open A file. In a lot of the games in this variation, we castle opposite sides and we play for mate. Obviously, white hasn't started playing for mate yet. But okay, I have like a rook on the open A line. I got my bishop over here. My rook's over here. My queen's on the queen side. My bishop's sort of going that way. And my king is just safe. And now I calculated, not my strong suit. Okay, and I've lectured on this game before, numerous times, so I'm sure you guys have memorized it already. I played queen f4, thinking he would attack my queen. I would fork his king and bishop with queen f5 check. He would then play over 1400 class, ladies and gentlemen.
Bishop d3.
bishop d3, and then I would play queen a5. And I remember, because it was 93, so it's more recent than the last lecture, I remember picking up my queen and then putting it back down on f5 and going like, oh. Well, the other move with my queen is queen h3, and I ain't playing queen h3. So I played here anyway. But I didn't see his move until after I touched my queen, and his move is the over 1400 class. Anyone? No? It's called a fork. You can do it. No?
Fork archer, what do we got?
Yeah, archer. Yeah, just archer will see it without even looking at the position.
Bishop b6.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that forks the queen and rook. Yeah, that was hard to see. Okay, I moved my queen. He took my rook, and in for a penny, in for a pound. That's what archer likes to say. Although, let's see, does that joke make any sense? That joke doesn't even make any sense. I was gonna make a joke, but it only made sense to me. Darn. Okay, but instead, I sacrificed more. Okay, because I thought I was playing Bughouse. Where's my partner? All right, and then he took my bishop, and I have like a pawn for several pieces. That's pretty good, right? You agree, right?
Yeah.
See? Okay, now he played king c2, confusing the audience. Do you want to be confused? King a1's fine. Can't win with king a1, but it's fine. Okay. Now I played the only move, and again, I've lectured on this several times, so you all know the answer. So I sort of accidentally sacrificed all my pieces. It was an accident. Karen does that a lot. So what's the only good move for black? Anybody? You.
Bishop b3 check.
If you don't remember the answer, you won't get it. You have to remember the answer.
So I think the king's trying to run away, right?
There you go. He's not as bad as he plays. You.
Queen b4.
Queen b4. Okay, now if it's my move, I'm looking good. Because his king's, you know, yeah. So he got an escape score for his king by playing bishop e4. And he did escape. And then he kept escaping. It's a lot of escaping. Okay, now he's skewered, so he has to play
Rook d4.
rook d4. Now he has one legal move, so he played it.
f4.
Yeah. Okay, and then I get to a winning bishop and pawn ending, although it might be a draw. I think it's a win. And I eventually won this endgame. Okay, but I sort of sacrificed my pieces accidentally, and then I got them all back. Now here, the computer says after queen b4 that white is slightly better, which is good when you're down a rook and a bishop. If it doesn't say your opponent's winning, you're probably going to win when it says that, because how's he going to defend? Okay, so that was one of my most exciting games with that line. This game was very exciting, and I have a funny story about this because it was 1984. It's like yesterday. I'm giving a lesson in Flint, Michigan, so you can feel bad for me now. To, I think his name, was it Rufus? Doofus? Okay, he's a high 1900 rated player. And I know his name, but he might listen to this and get mad at me. So if he watches it now, he still won't know it's him. So it's, as long as I don't say his name. Anyway, I'm giving him a lesson, and at one point during, I give him a lot of lessons. At one lesson, we looked at the variation on move 1, d4, knight f6, knight f3. So we're on move 2. And he said, I played d5, is that okay? And he's rated like 1950 his whole life. And I was like, it's move 2. But he claimed he'd never had that position before, even though every game he plays d4, knight f6. So I don't believe him.
No.
Okay, but anyway, I'm giving him a lesson, and I'm showing him a tactic from this game, which I'm going to show you. And he's looking at it, he's looking, he goes, oh, I remember this. I was watching this, and me and my friend were like, Finegold's getting crushed. Then you played this move, and we were like, wow. But it took him like 5 minutes to recognize that from the position. So, okay, so we played very, 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 very complicated. But we'll skip how complicated it was. Okay, too complicated for this class. Okay, then I played the move to confuse the audience. Okay, queen. Actually, this position I consider queen d4, which would confuse you even more.
Knight f3 check.
No, it's not my turn. What? Okay, confusing the audience. Okay, but anyway, this is the game. Check. So now he's attacking e6 because I said so. See?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a funny move to make with my king on d8. d5.
What?
Yeah, because if he trades on d5, I'm attacking his queen by discovery. And d4's coming. Okay, he played king h1, putting it in h. Okay, and we sacked all of our pieces, confusing the audience. Attacking my rook. Check. Okay, we got this position. Now here, black has 2 pieces for a rook, and the pawns are equal. Should be good for black. We were in time trouble, and a few moves earlier, I realized if my opponent plays the winning move, it is the winning move. It wins for me. And I thought, yeah, he's going to do that because he won't see the winning move for me. And I was right. And people watching were like, yeah, Finegold's going down. And then I went downstairs and got my prize money. Yeah. He played Rook B1. Now my queen's attacked. You've already seen this like 5 times. My queen's attacked because I said so.
Moved away.
And if I move it, he checkmates me. Rook takes B7 check. My king moves to D6 or C6. Then queen D5 mate. Okay? So he's going to play rook takes pawn check. And then he's going to play queen D5 mate. If I don't move my queen, he takes it. So he thought he was winning. The fans thought he was winning. Right? Now I was getting my back rubbed, and I was like, ah, very relaxing. And then I played the winning move. Anybody but Archer. And if you don't play the winning move, you're losing. And now it's time for a commercial announcement. Okay. When you guys play chess, let's say like you play Raj. Okay? And then it's move 30. One of you's down 5 pieces. I don't know which one. I really don't know which one. It's you? Okay. And then the computer says he's plus 14, and every legal move is plus 14. When good players play, and it says plus 14, it's not because the other guy's playing bad, it's because the other guy missed one move. And if you don't play the plus 14 move, you might be losing. So, but the computer doesn't care about that, it cares about the most important move. The 5th best move, that's irrelevant. So, if you play a position where you have forced mate every move, except for one move where they have forced mate, well then you're losing.
This is a nice.
And this is my game with Ray Robson. I was playing Ray Robson, and I had forced mate every move, except he mated me first. But I didn't see it.
Oh, yes, that.
And then I wrote my book, Cry Like a Grandmaster. An actual book. It's out there. Right? See? He just said yeah, but he doesn't know. Okay, so what move did black play? I know you know, you've seen this. Oh, you. I'm sure Raj will figure it out.
What classic tactic is it, Archer? What would you call it? Deflection?
Well, he has a back rank issue. Should we get him a tissue?
He has a background.
All right, let's pretend white plays this. You got that? What move could black play by cheating that would be a back rank mate?
Rook takes A1.
Very good. So the answer is?
Rook A3.
See, you're laughing, and that's the right answer. Yeah. Yeah, when I played Rook A3, the truth hurts. Because you can't stop Rook takes A1. Now you lose everything. Yeah, if I don't play Rook A3, I'm losing. But I played Rook A3, so I win. Now, at this point, Coke was pretty popular. People didn't like Sprite. But he still gave me some Sprite checks. Oh, wait, there's Sprite checks. Dang. So he checks me, and then he checks me again. He's like, all right, I give up. He checked me a lot, though. Okay, so in this position, let's see what the engine says. It says, stop using me, I'm taking a nap. It says, Rook A3, I win, otherwise I resign. He didn't see Rook A3, so he was pretty happy. Then when I played Rook A3, he wasn't too happy. And the audience was like, man, Finegold's no good. And they're like, oh, never mind, Finegold's good. Okay, then the truth hurts, right? Yeah. Okay, so that was in that opening. I like that opening. It's a good opening. Yeah. Okay, this is my most famous game, and it was in the back of Chess Life, your greatest move. Right? They have that nonsense that they write in the back for the common man. Man, the common man's terrible. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Who's worse than the common man? There's only one answer that's funny. I've never told this joke before, so you have to be funny now.
The common woman?
No, common. Okay.
Oh.
There you go. It takes a kid to understand the joke. You heard of common?
The rapper?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's the joke. He's worse than the common man, don't you agree? All right. All right. At least he's not Chance the Rapper. Is he dead? Look, if you're not dead, you're not trying. Right? You want some street cred, you better get shot a lot. You guys ever watch The Sopranos? There's a rapper, he tells the Soprano guy to shoot him because he needs street cred. He pays him too. You remember that episode? He didn't have enough money either. He's like, that's all I got. It's like, all right. Like, you're supposed to pay me this much to shoot you. Man, tough. Okay, so this game I've showed many times, so I'm sure you all know it. Okay, we'll just quickly go to the key position. Bam! I went too far. So in this position, the bishops are attacking each other, and I want to play bishop b4, winning his queen. That's what you all would play. Okay? You all, but not Yumol. Because he would play c3, and I would be PO'd.
Yep.
All right, the kid gets it.
Yep.
If somebody plays c3 and you're PO'd, you should play r2 to d2. Right? Yeah, he gets it. I've never told that joke. I told the joke before, but it was in a galaxy far, far away. Right?
And a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but somehow in the future. Before MASH, but after before MASH. Okay. Man, there's a lot of Family Guy jokes. So don't sue me. Now, if this pawn wasn't here, man, that was easy. Then bishop b4 wins his queen. So I played knight d3 check. Now you know the refutation of pawn takes. They still don't, but I explained it. Then I play bishop b4 and I win his queen. His queen's defending his bishop because I said so. So if he takes with a knight, I take his bishop.
Takes with a knight? What?
If he takes with a knight. Yeah. Now the other move is bishop takes. Now what do I do? Why'd I give my knight away? You!
Queen e5.
Queen e5 check, winning his bishop on g5. So after knight d3, he played king f1. And then I played here, and I eventually won the game due to him making lots of mistakes. But knight d3 check, bam! That showed that guy. Then when the tournament ended, he showed me. He won 4,000 and I won 125 bucks. He won first under 2,400. I won like equal 7th. I got more points than him, but my rating wasn't low enough. All right, so the truth hurts. But knight d3 check, because this is my favorite line. Okay, now this game my opponent cried, and he's a grandmaster.
Did he actually cry?
Yeah, and it's like he probably yeah. Okay, and you'll see why he cried. Now he's from your favorite country in South America. Now, you're a child, right? Did you go to public school?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is going to be good for you. Now, the adults are going to laugh because they don't understand. I understand. I'm not going to laugh. Name a country in South America.
Brazil?
Wait, that made too much sense. You feeling okay? Do you go to public school or private school? Are you homeschooled?
No.
What?
Atlanta's a pretty affluent area.
What?
There's schools around here. It's a good school.
Yeah, but he goes to public school. What? You're supposed to say like Africa or China.
Too smart kid.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
China's in Asia.
Ah, you're not supposed to know. You're a kid. If only you guys knew what I knew. I'm like, name a city in like England, and they're like Canada. Like that. I mean, that's like a typical answer. And I'm like, what? All right. Anyway, correct. He's from a country you've never heard of, although I think you heard of it now. Now I'm scared. Right? You guys don't say nothing. Not you either. It starts with a U. Yeah, that's better.
They're the richest country in or per capita, I think, GDP per capita.
Uruguay?
Yeah, you heard of that? Uruguay?
What?
Correct. That's the answer I'm looking for. That's what you're supposed to say last time. South what? South America.
Or Georgia.
Right. Well, that's a Simpsons joke. Okay, that's where Rand McNally eats people and hot snow falls up. Okay, so I'm playing a guy from Uruguay, and the reason is funny. It's a long, complicated story, because I like stories. As you all know, man, do you guys not know this? This is the one chess thing none of you know. At some point, Kasparov and short, like, didn't play the FIDE World Championship match. They played their own match, and FIDE said, you're out. FIDE said, you're not the world champion anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so they used to have knockout tournaments with fast time controls to decide the world champion. FIDE did a good job. One of those events was in Las Vegas in 1999. And there were a lot of people there playing, but there were no spectators. Because my brother went to watch and there was nobody there. Like 5 people there watching the world championship. In like Caesar's Palace. So anyway, one of the guys who went was this guy. He obviously got knocked out immediately because you've never heard of him. So then he went to the US Open, which was in Reno, which a lot of people did. They got knocked out in the first match and they went to Reno for the US Open. Okay, so I played him in the US Open. We had the same FIDE rating. Crazy. Okay, and we'll skip the game because the game was terrible. But needless to say, my opponent tried to queen his e-pawn, and I was like, no problem. So we got this position. This pawn doesn't look very dangerous, does it? It does in a few moves because I'm no good. That's good reason. So he just pushes to the 7th rank. I don't take it. Yeah. And now I'm like, man, this ain't no good.
What?
Yeah, that pawn's good. So now I played for tricks, and they worked because my opponent's an adult. And tricks are for kids. Right. So I played b3 to confuse my opponent.
Yeah.
Okay, and my opponent's like, I'm not confused, and he took it. Okay, and then I checked him, and he made the losing move, which isn't easy. It's hard to play the losing move. I'm betting none of you can play the losing move. Well, hey, Archer could, because he owns the game. You guys can't even play the losing move. That's how good his position is. He only has 1 losing move, and he has like 6 moves. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he has 8 moves. I think he played the worst legal move here out of the 8.
It's a king move.
It is not.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, there's 8 legal moves. He played number 8. I told you he cried after the game. Because he was sure he was winning after his move, and then he resigned. Now, if you're a grandmaster and you know you're winning and then you resign, crying is correct. Correct.
This is an oof moment.
well, Rook. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not bad enough to play the losing move. You're trying to find the losing move, but you can't do it. Try to play a good move. That'll help.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah, I know you know. You're just regurgitating, etc. This guy's from Uruguay. Probably has 10 other names, right?
That's 'cause it's
Queen d3 doesn't look unreasonable.
Right. No, he played queen e4. Now, if I play the obvious queen takes queen, that's no good. The obvious queen takes g5, he plays queen takes a8. And then I resign. Like a grandmaster, right? So he was pretty happy about queen e4 until I made my move and he started crying and resigned. Then he wasn't happy. Only Archer knows. Nobody knows? Nothing? Yeah, nothing?
I don't know.
Tabula rasa? Yeah. What do you think? You guys have tabula rasas in here? Correct. You, Archer.
Rook takes c7.
Bam! The truth hurts. It really hurts Raj. He's like, I'm hurting here. What's happening?
Okay, so queen's pinned, yeah.
Yeah, so if he takes my queen, I play rook takes rook check, and then take back. Know what I mean? Yeah. Now let's go back. Default kibitzer. Rook takes e7 plus a billion. Otherwise, I'm worse. Otherwise, like, I'm probably going to lose. Yeah. He didn't see rook e7. So when I played it, he put his head down, cried, and resigned. He cried about a minute, then he got his composure back. He's like, all right. Yeah.
True story?
True story. So he had fun in Vegas and in Reno. Not the kind of fun people usually have, but, still fun. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, rook takes e7, didn't see that. There's always opposite side castling, and I'm always winning because I'm showing you the games I want to show. Didn't show you the games I lost. Yeah. Those games, no good. Okay. Okay, that draw I remember. Well, I remember all the games. Is Shane Kingery the game where I follow Kasparov's analysis that I saw the night before? I think so. Let me see. Yeah, this is the game. That's too boring for you guys. I mean, that guy quit chess. Talk about quitting chess. This game I sacked my queen and then I queened. It's a boring game otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, it was boring until I did that. Yeah. So, oh wait, is that another game? Am I confused? Oh, I am confused. I'm thinking of another game. Is it the same guy? This is the same guy. I beat that guy twice. Yes. The game I'm talking about was in Canada. This is in Philadelphia. Terrible. Yeah, I don't care about that game. I did tie for first in this World Open, but that guy was like the weakest player I beat, so. This was very, very, very funny, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it wasn't. This is another game. But it was funny, but that's not the funny one I'm thinking of. Okay, that was good. That was good. Okay. This is a funny story, this game, so I'm going to tell you. This guy played a line that's a forced draw, and I didn't know it. And so he moved every move in 1 second, and I thought for 5 minutes on every move, and I played the right move every move. And we got to the end, and then we agreed to a draw. And I was like, it actually happened once in a Traxler variation. That line you play, I played bishop takes f2 check, and the guy moved instantly every move. He had all this line prepared, and I sat there forever, and I figured it out, and we drew. Horrible. Okay, so in this position, you can play knight takes c6, bishop takes f6, bishop h4, bishop f4, and bishop e3. I knew after bishop f4 what to do, like this is what you're supposed to do, but he knew the line, like he kept moving instantly. That was the line that he knew. And I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do now? So I know bishop d7 is the move. And after it takes, I take with the bishop. And I know you play d5, and you try to play bishop b4. And like, I'm getting to the end of my analysis here. It's move 11. Give me a break, right? He was just starting. So he plays queen e1, which, it's the main move. It's a move. I played bishop b4. And he's trying to get rid of my bishop because I'm pinned everywhere. Everything's pinned. Okay, and I go here, and he does that. He's moving every move in 1 second. And I'm like, I know I'm playing right, but I don't know what to do now. I just know I'm playing right. But I didn't know the rest of it. Okay, so I figured it out. You go here. They take. It's take with the bishop. Take with the knight loses. Take, and then c4. So I had to figure all this out because my knight's pinned and I'm losing it. Yeah. Okay, queen f6. He's still moving instantly. Bishop e5. Yeah, the whole game he used 1 second because he knew the whole game. I was like, dang.
Queen g5 check.
Bishop e3 check. If I play queen g5 check, why does that lose? I think he just moves his king. Yeah, I think queen g5 loses. Let me see. Queen g5, king b1. Nah, he's much better, but he's not winning. But he's much better. Yeah. Okay, so I figured this out. He has to take, because I'm going to take his bishop. Okay. And now, well, seems like it, but he plays bishop g7. My knight's trapped. I have some issues. And bishop h6. And then the problem with bishop to d4 is I can play either castles or rook d8, and his bishop can't defend all those squares. Yeah. And then I have this perpetual on his rook. So here, he has 2 bishops and 2 pawns for rook and a knight. That should win for white. But I have perpetual on his rook. Yeah, this is already known. This is a known thing. I didn't know it. But I figured it all out. And I was like, man, I gotta learn my theory or stop playing that. Because he just played the whole game instantly. So if I don't know what I'm doing, he wins. And if I do, I draw. And he's just moving and laughing. And he's lower rated than me.
I used to play the tracks.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah.
So you repeated and agreed?
Yeah, and then it's a draw. Yeah, it's all been played before, but I didn't know it. I knew it up to like a3, bishop a5, and I was done. So I'm just like sitting there suffering. Yeah. So sometimes in chess you suffer. Still theory. Okay, I beat Chow. Shu Hai. Millman beat me. I played into a known opening trap. Terrible. Beat Defermi, that was a blitz game. That was a nice game with Kujin, too hard for this class. There's an IM who died about 2 years ago named Danny Kopek of the Kopek Sicilian.
Yeah.
Yeah? Nothing? Yeah. Anyway, he was doing commentary on this game. And he's like, Finegold's going to get checkmated and Finegold sucks. And then I won pretty easily. Friedel, that was a nice game in Chicago. Karklin's crushed me. They like made fun of me after the game. Yeah. This was a good game. So we'll look at this
Can
game.
you show me the game with Fufu?
I've never played him.
Oh, you never played it?
No. He lives in Thailand.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. If we go to Thailand, I'll introduce you to Fufu. His name's not Fufu, that's the beginning of his name. His name is 800 letters long. I mean, 900. Okay, this was round 1 of the National Open in Vegas, and I'm playing some young punk kid. When you play them, they play 100 moves of theory. That's not good. Okay, he played a line that I knew really well, and I have a novelty in that I always play, because it's not a novelty anymore. Okay, so in this position, everybody castles with black and gets checkmated. That's all the grandmaster games. Black castles and white checkmates them. I prefer not to get checkmated. I'm a different kind of grandmaster. So there's a move that I made up, bishop b7, developing my pieces. Okay, I don't want a castle because I'll get mated. Okay, and they play bishop f3 is a mistake. Usually the queen goes to g3 at some point, threatening this, and I play king f8. That way my rook's over here defending. Okay, he played bishop f3, which is bad. And now I castled because he can't move his queen over here. Okay, and he played h4, which is what they usually play instead of bishop f3. Now I played a very obvious move, but not obvious to you guys. Okay, I want to play e5, d4, and you guys are like, you can't play e5 and d4. Well, maybe you can't. So how do I prepare e5? You.
Bishop d6. That gets forward.
Get the knight out of the way so you can start pushing the F pawn.
50% correct. The pushing the F pawn was wrong, but the knight out of the way was good. You.
Knight d7.
Yeah, I defend the e5 square.
That does it too.
Yeah. Okay. So he played rook h3 like I'm nobody. And maybe he's right. Dang. e5. Okay. Now, his name looks Chinese, but he's actually an old Indian. Because he's Sacagawea. Right? No, nothing?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a Chinese name or no?
Why?
Is his name?
Heung.
Is it? No. Okay. I gotta change the joke up a little bit if it's not. Okay, so he sacked his bishop. Okay, I ignored it by forking his queen and knight. Confusing the audience. Audience is like, now normally I don't play this way against a little kid because, you know, they're good at tactics and know a lot of theory. But this is my opening. What do you want me to do? Okay, he obviously saved his queen. I took his knight, and he took my knight. So material's equal, but his bishop's hanging, but my bishop's hanging, also etc. And my pawn structure is really good. It's not too good. All right. Queen b6, threatening mate in 1.
Yeah.
So he stopped it with
B takes c3.
b takes c3, bishop a3 check.
B3.
Ow.
B3.
b3, yeah. Okay, now usually my lecture is about this move for like 40 minutes because it's very complicated what I did here. But we're not talking about this game. We're just going over it. I play queen c5, threatening queen a3 and queen b2. And the computer prefers queen b4, but I prefer queen c5. Normally, I don't argue with the computer, but computer is assuming best play. That's the computer's main mistake. There ain't no best play in this game. In this game, there's suspicious play. Okay, the best move for white will surprise anybody who's not my student. If you are my student, you won't be surprised. Always play
King b1.
king b1. And the idea is of queen a3, then bishop c1. Okay, and the other idea is I have a threat here that none of you see, including my opponent.
You have 2 pawns.
No, yeah, that don't matter. What does matter is bishop c8.
Yeah.
That does matter. Then I take all your pieces, your rook, your queen, your bishop. Okay, now here he blundered. He played the move Rook D3. Now if I play Queen A3 check, he runs away. And so when I play Bishop C8, I'm winning. The reason I'm winning is actually weird. If he plays King B1, which is what he has to play, and the idea for those of you who can't follow along is he goes here. Okay. And I play Bishop C8. He's okay here. The reason he's okay, he can play Bishop E3. And if I go Queen A3, he can play Bishop C1, etc. And he'll get to some ending where he's like down the exchange, but he's better because I lose all my pawns. Okay. Or I could repeat and draw, maybe. Okay. Although I would not repeat and draw. All right. And the reason that's different than Rook to D3, which is what he played, after Bishop C8, if he plays Bishop E3, this is check. Then I just take his queen. So after Bishop C8, there's no defense. If he saw Bishop C8 and he saw Bishop E3, he would have played King B1. But I think seeing things wasn't his specialty. And he's not like, crammed Nick Carlson and not rolled up into one. He's a kid playing in a tournament. So after Bishop C8, he loses all of his pieces.
Loses queen.
Yeah, not good. So he moved his queen. I took over there. He gave his bishop away because it's hanging anyway. Yeah. He played B4, horrible. Rook A7, and he resigned because he didn't know where his pieces went and he has no attack. He was hoping, although it's not a good hope because it doesn't matter, that I would take this and he has queen takes E5 check, which I'm still winning after that. But after this, the queens are traded. And then he has no pieces left. So I'm like plus 11 or something. So the game ended pretty quickly.
Yeah.
From a position that was probably about equal. I think the computer says if he plays King B1 here, he's equal. After Rook D3, I'm like plus a billion. That's the Sicilian for you. That's, you missed something. And that's why I think Queen C5 is better than Queen B4, because after Queen B4, in this position, what is he supposed to do?
Still King B1, right?
After King B1, Bishop C8, what does he do? Is it Queen C6? No. I gotta remember, I can't remember because it's too long ago. Can't remember nothing. King B1, Bishop C8, Queen C7. And I'm still doing well. Yeah, I know I was doing well. Yeah. Not as well as I did, but still pretty well. Yeah. Well, his Bishop H6 was crazy. He was like, rawr, against me. And you can't take all your pieces against me, unless you do it and it works. Yeah. Okay, and then we never heard it from him again, somehow. Okay, that game's way too boring. This is my favorite game of the lecture because of what my opponent said. This was played in St. Louis. Now, this was a round-robin grandmaster tournament, and there were two grandmasters who were friends, and they drew in 5 minutes and went to the hotel room and watched the games online. And they said this game, they couldn't stop laughing. And I'll show you what they were laughing about. You guys probably wouldn't laugh, but they thought it was really funny. Okay. So, typical Sicilian, craziness, right? Okay. And I played B4. When I played B4, I knew what he would do. I was wrong, but I knew what he would do. I knew he would play knight B1 because there ain't no other square for the knight.
Yeah.
And he played knight D5, sacking a piece. And after the game I said, why didn't you play knight B1? So I thought there was two possibilities. He thought after knight B1, I have a really good game, I don't want to do that. Or he thought after knight D5, he has full compensation for the piece, so that's better than knight B1. But he said, well, I don't want to play knight B1. I'm not playing knight B1. I'm like, okay. So that move, he's not playing knight B1.
What?
He said, I'm not playing knight B1. I'm not doing that. So I was like, all right, he's not doing that. So he gave a piece away. Okay, so he's down a piece for basically nothing. Just gave a piece. Okay? And this is why they laughed. In this position, he sacked another piece. They didn't laugh about that. Okay, and this is why they laughed. He played Rook G1. And they were like, he sacked his bishop, then played Rook G1. Wow. Now, he has nothing for 2 pieces. That's just a funny move to follow up, because Rook G1 does nothing. So it's just like funny to sack a piece and then play Rook G1.
You think there's a check coming or something?
Yeah, Rook G1, they started laughing. Like, he's played Rook G1. Like, what?
Like F5.
Like, he's down 2 pieces.
At least
Quiet
F5 or
move.
something.
Yeah, like Queen D4 check or F5. Right. Like,
H4 raw.
yeah, like Rook G1. Like,
What?
if it's his movie, they can't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. So I took on A2 because I'm like, all right, he's not going to threaten anything. I'll just keep attacking. Yeah. G6, that was scary. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't scary. I took with the F pawn so my rook would get active. That way I could play bishop F5, which I can't play taking the other way because then it's pinned.
I'm guessing the ones.
Yeah. Okay. And he resigned. But yeah, they said they were just laughing on their when he played Rook G1. They're like, wow, your second piece Rook G1. Yeah. So that was a shockingly easy win against a good opponent. We just, here's all my pieces, I give up. It's like playing you kids here in the chess center. They're like, here's all my pieces, I resigned. Yeah. So, but that was funny, Rook G1, and they were like, what? Yeah, I thought knight G5, he thought he had a good attack, but he just thought like, he can't play knight B1, so I guess I'll play knight D5. That's, can't do it. The truth hurts. Yeah, say no to drugs. Okay, and we'll do one more. This game I like because I played it in the other one. You.
I don't get the other. Atlanta?
Of course.
East Atlanta?
Yeah, almost. It was in downtown Atlanta. Yeah. Now, I think I was playing a Wonder Liang. So just to make sure, I'll put a Liang. This is a guy from Atlanta. He's a kid and he's 2,100 plus tax. Yeah. I didn't know who he was, but now I know. Okay. And we played the Let's Checkmate Each Other. I think it's a Rolling Stones song. Let's checkmate each other. Okay. And this is the position where I play the move that only I play. Invented by Belyavsky in 1973. That was a good hint for them. So the main move is Queen C7. But as I've said many times in my videos, I was on an airplane, I opened a book in descriptive notation, and it had this position in a diagram after the next move, and I thought it was a typo in the diagram, but it turned out it was Black's last move. As the book said, Queen to King 1. And I was like, oh, the Queen's on D8, but they made the diagram wrong. Then I noticed that that was the last move, and I was like, wait, what? Why? And the reason is, we get off this file of the rook, and we defend our knight, so we can play B5. And when they come and checkmate us, our queen defends. And this was invented by Big Al Belyavsky in 1973. And then they forgot about it, so I started playing it because they forgot about it. Okay, my opponent played King B1, following the rule. Right, then he broke another rule very quickly. After B5,
F3.
yeah, so I'm gonna play, yeah, he played F3, which is really terrible. Because when you push your pawns like this, you want your queen to get in there, which the F3 blocks. Okay, also loses a tempo. There's G4 is perfectly fine. Okay, now I made a very sneaky move. Because as they said in, what movie was it? Happy Gilmore? Did I see Happy Gilmore? Doesn't sound like a movie I would see. And one Adam Sandler movie, but John Turturro says, don't underestimate the sneaky. What movie was that? You guys will tell me online. Anyway, I made a very sneaky move. It looks like it does Vishwa nothing. Bishop D7. That looks more boring than the boring world of Niels Bohr. Come on. So that actually threatens to win a piece, as you indicated, right?
Yes.
So I want to play the move B4, and your knight's trapped. Although Michael Brooks wouldn't care because, you know, he ain't playing no knight B1. Yeah, if he plays knight A4, I got these guys lined up. And that's actually another idea of Queen E8, is I'm defending A4, so you can't put a piece on A4, and I can play A5, A4 sometimes. Okay, So I play bishop d7. That's one of the negatives of king b1. He can't play knight b1. And then Michael Brooks is like, negatives, what do you mean? Okay. So he played queen f2 to vacate a square for his knights. And I played a5, threatening a4.
Yeah.
Man, the truth hurts. Now, if my queen was on c7, which it normally is in this line, he could play a4 here. Plays a4 here, I take it, because my queen and bishop are defending. So he played a3, and here we come. And he has a really big attack on my king, except for one thing. He doesn't, he's got nothing. Right. Okay. e5, bishop e6. Man, it's all coming up Millhouse. Bam, it's the Finegold gun. Much more impressive than Alekine's gun, because I'm from Detroit. Okay, threatening mate, you all see the mate. Okay, here. Now we play Finegold style, which I stole from Morphy. Close. Rook c8. The threat is check, king c1 takes. Easy to stop. I think there's two ways to stop it. Rook d3 and queen d3, they both defend the knight. Okay, he picked one of them. Now I did it again. d5, bringing in the reserves. My intention was to play d4 and then rook c3 and get him. Okay, and then I probably made him. Okay, now he blundered bishop g5. That bishop is well defended except for one thing. Not defended. Okay, and I played the most obvious move ever if you're a brilliant tactician. The three people over here, one's doing this, one's... Archer.
Knight takes c4.
Bam. Notice, if I keep checking him, he plays king to d2. Right? But here he doesn't play king to d2 because it's illegal. So he better take my knight. Which he didn't, so then I checkmate him. So knight takes, rook takes mate. Okay, and if he plays the right move, like take the knight so I don't mate him, I still mate him. I can take the bishop first or I can check first. And then, man, that's not good. It's not good. There's good, there's not good. It's not good. So after knight e4, even though I'm one pawn ahead, I'm plus 1 billion.
Yeah, because you're mate.
Yeah, I mean, you never saw numbers like this in your life. You're so confused. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's made anyway. Yeah. So bishop g5, no good. If he doesn't play bishop g5, also no good. Also no good. Right, because I'm attacking him with no sacrificing, and my king is the safest king ever. Why? f3 wasn't good, and then queen f2 wasn't good, and usually they play g4, g5, and they mate you, and he didn't do any of that. But I have a pretty good attack. Yeah, that was against a kid. Kid should attack better than that. But I have a lot of experience in this opening, as you saw. I was just scrolling down number of games, and my opponents are like, what? What's this? And I'm like, no talking. Right? Yeah, see, talking. That was played in downtown Atlanta. The only tournament I've played in downtown Atlanta, it was a CCA tournament. They don't have tournaments in Atlanta. They decided to have one. They got a pretty good turnout. I forgot how I did in the last round. I was black against Komsky. I don't remember what happened. It was the only game I've lost in the state of Georgia in 2.5 years. For the last round for $1,000. Yeah, he was lucky.
You almost lost.
He was lucky he was paired with me.
You almost lost the one with.
I never lost to Varun Sayana.
You almost.
Is that the game you're talking about? I never. He's rated 1,000. That could have been my other game I lost. Yeah.
Was your game with Tata have any fun?
No. I won a really long, boring endgame. Rick and Planen, terrible. Horrible. And then Matthew Statter, he was yelling at me yesterday about that game. He was 4-0, and it was here at the Chess Center. I never play here at the Chess Center. I played in that turn because there was an odd number, so I made it even. Then I beat him in the last round. So he's still mad about it. He says, why are you playing in your tournaments? That's not fair. And I said, we've had 104 rated events here in 11 months, and I played in like 4 of them. And that was one of them. He's like, rawr, I'm mad. Right? I said, no talking. Sam Sevian checkmated me. That wasn't nice.
Danny Wrench
But,
beat you?
yeah, I think that's a typo. Danny, that's a draw.
No, there's 2.
Danny Wrench beat me twice. He beat me in a game where he was plus 12, and then 10 moves or 15 moves later, he was plus 0.4, and then I made a 1-move blunder and resigned after I fought back. Terrible. I've beaten him too, but he forgot. Also, I forgot. No, he remembers. Yeah. Well, he's one of the heads of chess.com, so like my wife let you win, I have to let it, you know how it is. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. The truth hurts.
She actually beat me.
What?
Well,
And you still came to the class because you were like, I gotta beat her, so.
yeah, exactly.
Chess is a strange game because Karen beat a 1600 on Wednesday and then lost to an 1100 yesterday. So more 1600s is what sounds like the rights is, gotta do that. Yeah. I've done similar things, and I'll end the lecture with something funny in that ilk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So a guy, actually there's a lot of stories about this guy. The guy died in his early hundreds, I think 104, and maybe older. He was a chess player in Michigan forever. And his wife, who was 40 years younger, she was like 1900. She was his nurse, then became his wife. And then I found out about a month ago, she lives here. She lives like 2 miles from here. So she might actually come to the center, might be the center right now, but probably not. The guy, what's his name, Chris Ferrante?
Yeah.
He sees her like every week at the senior center, like they have chess there. So he showed us the game he played against her. But anyway, the point of the story is that guy was 1400 on his floor because he was like in his 90s. And in round 1 of a tournament, he beat a 2200. Pretty good, right?
Yep.
It was a 6-round tournament. When the tournament ended and it was rated, he lost points.
Ooh.
That's not easy to do. Even if you lose all your games, it's not easy to do. But the point is, you can beat somebody really good, and then you're like, that was good, and you stop being your good, and you lose to somebody low rated. Happens all the time. You beat somebody 500 points higher, and you're like, yay, and then later in the tournament, you're like, I lost to somebody 400 points lower. And then that sort of wipes that out. Yeah. But yeah, I never saw anybody beat somebody 800 points higher than lose rating points that tournament. So it's harsh. And he was on his floor. That was the funny part.
Yeah.
Right? And what would G. Wilder say?
Something about class. Yeah.
Class is.
I just showed him the video. I just showed it to him. Right? All he remembers is like Frankenstein. That's all you remember. You got nothing. He remembers that. We talked about the fact it was obvious he had something there. It's a lot bigger than his other pants.
Sure.
He had some,
Patty.
if he was a great actor, he would have just
done it.
I wouldn't, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's too bad he died like last year, right?
Recently.
Terrible.